right, and we are back. It's time for To The Point. We get to that conversation. As I had earlier mentioned, my guests are already in studio, and it is time for us to get to that very important conversation. Perhaps everybody has this dream of just succeeding in the arts industry, especially this time where, you know, the social media space is quite open for everybody. But just what does it take for them to successfully get this? I started by appreciating the fact that there has to be some element of authenticity as well as resilience, but of importance, creating meaningful content. And when we're talking about the arts industry, I always say that even my own industry is within the arts industry. We're talking about music, we are talking about comedy, we're talking about content creation, we're talking about acting, we're talking about all this. But just how easy is the ground for them that are flourishing right here in the country? That's what we discuss this evening on To The Point. The lines are open for you to speak to us. As always, the hashtag is To The Point. 22047 is the SMS short code. I'll be looking at some of your comments as we continue with the broadcast. Right next to me is Gathoni Kimuyu. Gathoni, thank you so much for creating time.
Thank you for having me.
To be with us. You know, Gathoni is an actress. For those of you who have, seen her, I mean, household name right here in the country. And of course, also a creative producer. And we have one gentleman who's seated at the center, who is called Kendrick, I don't know, called David, called Mlamwa, called I don't know.
Shemeji.
Yeah. We have just told him to declare msimamo, and then he says we send M-Pesa to his phone.
To confirm.
To confirm what his name is. Is it always that the M-Pesa name is your name?
Yeah.
Is it always?
Yeah.
Because I'll be kwa ID.
That's the SI unit.
Is that so?
Yeah.
There's no way unaweza register na kitu ingine.
Hakuna.
All right, because sometimes you were sent for money, alafu unasikia mtu amecancel haraka haraka. Ai, nasoma Jennifer. And then, all right. So once again, David Oyando, who's a content creator as well as a comedian. Mlamwa, thank you so much for creating time.
Thank you.
And last but not least, the lady herself, who will make us dance a bit, later on towards the end of the show. Sidhani kuna mtu hapa hizi dance. Zile ma TikTok zenyu nazionanga.
Leo ni live.
Leo ni live. Leo tujionea hapa hata sisi tushainishe TV47, and none other than Edel Kweyu, who's a gospel artist. Her latest song is one that is a vibe alongside Rose Muhando.
Yeah.
You almost would imagine that they are sisters when you look at that video.
Yeah.
But then again, here we are. And the biggest question, ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time I'm having two ladies and one gentleman. Most of the times ladies tell you, wataki kuja usiku.
The ratio is okay. In Kenya right now it's 1-7. So we are doing good. So far so good.
Unajua unaonekana.
Sorry.
Kwanza tukimwambia congratulations.
Congratulations.
Kama ni ukweli si propaganda
by the ni ukweli. Thank you so much. I appreciate to all people who are watching. Tuna appreciate. Tuna feel poa.
Na awache shemeji atulie.
Shemeji unajua sasa
it's the hustle. It's basically probably the hustle that we're talking about.
And
lazima watu watafuta.
It's always good that watu wasikuelewe. Unajua unaweza ona video unafikiri imerekodiwa jana.
Kumbe
hizo vitu labda hata ni 4 months.
Unaona. Sasa mtoto
usiweke kwa roho.
Hapana. I beg to differ. But basically, Gathoni, we might actually want to say that there is that need and desire to rest. But equally, the desire to be successful, to be consistent in the industry, to make money is perhaps more than that need for rest. So we might actually tell Mlamwa ache mama atulie. But in real sense, ukitulia kidogo kwa hii industry unaweza rudi tu vizuri.
Unawachwa.
Ina depend. Ina depend.
All right.
Because I would like to use the example of Nyashinsky, for example, who left the country for a long time and he came back, and look at him now.
Lakini huyu ni Nyashinsky bana.
Lakini unajenga, it's the foundation you lay as an artist. The foundation you lay as an artist really determines how you continue to live, even when you can no longer be a comedian or when you can no longer be online every day.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all about the foundation. How long would it take for one to work on this foundation, or is it a question of sheer luck?
I mean, luck plays a big part, but sometimes also the resilience and consistency, and what your dream is more than just chasing clout, because clout is very fickle.
Right.
Like, you can't chase it for long. It's exhausting. So I think the most important thing is to understand who you are and what you're looking for as a content creator, as an artist. Who are you creating for? Are you creating for yourself first? are you creating for an audience only? It's very, very important to just lay that foundation for yourself, because if you look at a lot of content creators, people will go through grief, but they don't even give themselves some time to just chill and overcome whatever it is that you're going through, because likes and followers and all of these things are the only things that we care about. So I think it's very important to just lay a foundation before you just before you blow, so that by the time you blow and you decide yes, you can easily rest
and come back.
Yes.
Is it all we care about, Idel, or it is basically all what is required of us? That today, ukikosa kuimba wimbo siku mbili tatu, what happens to the people who follow you, to your fans, in as much as it's all about God and bringing people to the kingdom?
In the Kenyan industry right now, you shut up, people move on. Every day kuna mtu kanakuja, you know. So you keep quiet, another person will just come and do something else. It's just like TikTok. There's a sound that hapana kucheza na mtu kidogo, ukistop kidogo Guardian amekuja na yake, ime take over. So it's just the same as we also the artwork. If you're not consistent, if you don't give us back to back, people are working out there. You're not the only person producing music.
Right.
Yeah. So if you don't become busy in your field and give back-to-back music, guys will move to another person.
Well, mlamoa ni mlamoa, and we thank God for good health. Right?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
we thank God that I know Mama Poor and the baby is okay. And such.
In
that case, then we can easily create content without having to worry so much. So.
Yeah.
But do you feel that sometimes maybe it would have been necessary for her to just enjoy that rest? Is there some element of something that pushes you that ukilala kuna venye ukiamka itakuwa a whole different affair? I mean, having built a name for yourself.
So for us creators, kuna kitu naitwanga bulk shooting. Unaona? Na kuna kitu naitwanga you don't live in real time. Like right now we are on TV. Right. If somebody comes to TV47, atatupata tumeketi hapa saizi. Unaget? But kuna vitu zingine sisi huwa tunashoot after ama before. Ulienda Coast 2 weeks ago na unaanza kupost saizi.
Right.
So somebody will be like, "Wewe mlamu uko Coast na uko radio aje? Uko Coast, uko Kitale aje?" So unapata aziko real time.
Right.
So utapata when I'm announcing, "Yo, we have given birth to a boy." Sio leo asubuhi. Hiyo story ni ya kitambo sana. We are in private hospitals. We sign documents, NDAs and everything. So sisi wenyewe ndo tunaamua tu post nini sangapi. So ukituona tunatembea usifikiri sasa tumetoka OC, tumekimbia, tumefanya nini, hapana. Ni vitu zenye siko. And there are so many stuff before and after. And about your pressure kushinda tumepost, you are doing what? It depends, like she said. You build a strong foundation and you also do content that stays long on the shelf. Unapata kuna wajamaa wana shoot kitu yenye labda something happened and you shoot a challenge.
Right.
By kesho kitu ingine may happen, so your previous video does not make any sense. So those are perishable content, you know. But some of us we shoot stuff that will stay there for 10 years, 20 to come. You know, there are some things we did with Jemtai 4 years ago that mpaka saizi unaweza repost bado watu wanacheka tu, unaget. So it's about how you structure your work, vile unajipanga na unataka useme nini sangapi.
Right.
Yeah, we don't.
You see, comedians will get away with so much because then next year is coming na tutakuwa hapo tunataka kucelebrate mtoi wako. Hiyo date yenye ulitoka hospitali. Utatuambia aje ati sasa alikuwa amezaliwa tarehe 5 na si tarehe 10 vile nilikuwa.
Nitakuonyesha off air vile anatoshana. Ni mkubwa sana. Yeah, ni mkubwa. Like people are like, "We, mbona hamuna nani?" So I'm like, should we record the nanny and put for you? No.
But now the difference is the same. In my understanding, Mlamo, in this case, then the difference is the same. Because our argument here is, why don't you allow for her to rest? Fine, it could have been content that will shoot Kitambo. Then it means that at that time you do not allow for her to rest. I mean, what is the pressure? Is it necessary?
Okay, you are predating it instead of post.
Okay.
So she gave birth, she stayed, then we short those things. You get?
Okay.
Now we are now posting. That's why I'm telling you the duration is twice as long.
She really rested, right?
Yeah.
All right, she had enough rest.
Ni kitu ya kitambo.
I need to hang around this guy.
I really learn a lot.
Yeah, you have to learn a lot. You don't have to be.
This has to be my teacher.
You know?
You don't have to be real time. Watu wataku understand. Utapata content inakunyonga. Like maybe you are sick. Like she said, you should take a break. So your time uko sick, uko na bulk ya vitu kama 20, zinakupusha hata 2 months. People don't know even you are sick. Wanaona tu content inaendelea kufanya nini? Kukam. So it's important that you have something in store.
Yeah.
So that if anything happens to you, then utaendelea to until when you catch up later.
Okay. Yeah. You looked at the poster and it was largely about power, money, you know, fame and sex. These 4 components would basically drive you if you are in the arts industry. What would you say about them, and especially in relation to the challenges that we witness today?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think we're existing in a very different time. The one thing I love the most about what the internet has done is that it has almost destroyed gatekeeping. So if you have your phone, if you're creative, if you have bundles, you can shoot and put it on the internet. Whoever vibes with it, is okay with it, is gonna follow you, is gonna repost, all of those things, and it's gonna. And the way Kenyan content creators have it is that you make your content, you post it. If people like it, they reshare it, and everyone gets to know about you, right? So automatically you've beat the gatekeepers. Automatically you've kind of beat power. You've found fame, and now there's a whole demographic of either girls or guys who want you because of this newfound fame. So if you grow too fast, you need to have people who hold you down so that you're able to understand what is happening in your life. And a good example is Aziad, for example. When Aziad blew up, there was an array of different people there were people who loved her, extremely loved her. There were people who tarnished her name completely. There were people who called her names. And if you get to that moment in your life and you actually don't have someone to help you go through it, then it becomes disastrous. So I think it's very important that even when you decide, oh, I want to become a content creator, you have to first think about it, because it's not always sunshines and butterflies. Sometimes it rains, and when it rains, what are you left? What are you left with when it rains? So I think the most important thing also, and even for the younger generation, when you're getting onto the internet, there needs to be some guidance. And I wish there was a way to incorporate like part of social media into the education curriculum, so that the children are not just going into the internet blindly. Because say, for example, as a millennial, I got to experience the world without the internet. Then I got to experience the internet. So I have a balance of both worlds. Then our children just came into the internet. So there's no guidance that exists. So it's just how they learn, whoever they meet, and whatever happens, happens.
Right, and that's the way you read my mind, because my next question would have been, we appreciate the coming of the internet. Because perhaps for many people, you are not at the mercy of people who are supposed to push your product, are supposed to push your content. At least the space is free for everybody. So it's you and Bidii Yako and the content that you create that you're able to reach out to people. But is it the case for you persons that are in the music industry, for instance, you have your music, fine, it probably does so well online on YouTube, but you equally want Linda to play it on TV. You equally want to see somebody else playing it on radio. Just how easy has it been, even before we come to the beat, or we go back to the beat of production of it?
Okay, for now, at this moment now in time, I thank God for the internet, because the before days, we suffered. Personally, I suffered, because like the guys I started singing with, most of them gave up.
How long have you how long have you been in the game? 13 years. 13 years.
And
how long have you been?
Nobody knows me.
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Around kutoka 2012.
Kutoka 2012. That's approximately around 10 there, 13 years.
Yes. So during those days, for sure, I didn't know what was happening. I was so confused in the gospel industry, because there were, I don't know if I can call them cartels, or because every TV had a DJ. Right. A DJ had a company. I didn't know. Nimekuja tu kujua juzi. Right. So you get Sunday ungekaa, you want to watch a gospel show, and then a DJ anaintroduce wimbo na force, anasema maze kuna hit imekam, maze this is a blessing, the song is hot, maze sikia jam inakuja zigoembe
ni nyasi
unashangaa bane,
what is wrong with my song
to sing or what? And people who are rabakapasha rabakasoro, those ones who are in spirit, their songs are never played. Then you go to another TV, another DJ also introduces maze Mazee, we have a song. This is a blessing, a hot one from you. Now it made us start singing bad things because tukasema then we have to sing. Hizo ndio zinaenda. Tuimbe hizo. So now you get me with my lyricism. Mazee, mimi I just kiluya tu na kuruka. And then now you get I'm supposed to start singing you because now I want to be relevant.
Yeah.
Because now before we understood what was happening, and you know now we just wanted to hang around those guys. I wanted to hang around DJ Mo, wanted to hang around DJ Sadiq, wanted to hang around DJ Tess, another one. Soxy. And you know now they had kulikuwa na Spin Rage DJ, they had their names, and then during now end of the year, hey, oh my goodness. Every DJ anataka yao show yao ikue kali on 31st.
Right.
Nasa sisi sasa those ones didn't understand what was happening. Sisi tumekaa tunasema kwani mimi uimba nini kweli? Uimba nini?
Hauko anywhere.
I'm not anywhere. You take artist just push. And nobody in the gospel industry will tell you how they made it.
Right.
Everybody tell you mazeni God.
Ni God.
Mazeni
wanakudanganya, wanakupanga hapo, si pesa, si ati kuona na DJ nani.
Nobody will tell you ati enda pale upite hivi. Nobody will ever tell you how they made it. Utakwambia mazeni God. Lakini with the internet,
thankfully
ni kierere yako.
Bidii
yako.
Right.
Just go throw things out there. People can go to YouTube and watch. If you have favor, like maybe I had favor on this other song, TikTok, they pick it up. And then you're good to go.
Right.
Because I don't know, kitambo we suffered. I personally suffered because I didn't know what was happening.
Beautiful. Should we now say that we have moved from that phase? Are we now experiencing new challenges that are different in terms of just surviving in this industry? I know you probably are going to tell us your story of how you started. Unaomba hii comedy, unaambiwa sijui leo hapana.
But according
to mboga yako ni nyasi, umegonga sijui mawe, na vitu kama hizo. You know, you're literally at the mercy of sin.
Yes. So before vile amesema kulikuwa na hiyo story like you know ni mainstream tu, hakukuwa na internet sana hivyo ati iko open unaweza fanya kitu yako na watu wakusikize. Ilikuwa ni auditions, zikikataa kama ni za acting manze unaenda zingine hivyo unazunguka. But for now if you have an idea you just do it and present it to people, you know, you be creative in your own way and inakupush work kiwewe because hakuna mtu atakupiga viboko asubuhi atienda shoot. Ni discipline yako, uamke ufanye kazi uweke, ikikataa fanya nyingine. There is no hakunanga mashini ya kumesha.
Lakini pia nyinyi mmekuwa wachoyo sana tuseme. Mbona muambii watu ni nini wafanye? You know, up until now you're not even told tufike hapo numbers zikue, at least unafunga macho unafungua hivi asubuhi you have 100 followers. Some of us have been posting and just like Eden would ask you know, what do you mean a posting? Like, what is this that I post?
You should see the timing. That's why usichukue picha sahi na upost sahi.
Sasa mtuambie hizo vitu, tuambie hizo secret. Mbona msemangi hizo secret?
Check the most opportune time. Unaona? Then post the photo. It will make more sense than unapiga tu sahi.
Sasa mimi nikiimba kwa service. Nikiimba kwa service on Sunday leo. Ni post kesho.
Sure.
Nayo tulia soma waves.
Sasa si Sunday ni leo.
Soma waves. That's why unashangaa kitu ina happen. Then Mulamo has a video of that. Hakurecord leo. It has been in the phone all through. Imekuwa inangoja the most opportune time. Maybe kitu inafanyika then analeta photo fulani ina trend. You are like this guy is forever trending. It's because you have a catalog of these things. Niwe kuingia tu kwa shelf gani na ingiana na hii toa. Look at Njugush. Njugush has a video for that.
Stand by, always.
Alienda Old Trafford, Manchester United. Every time Manchester plays, Njugush has a video akiwa wapi? Yes, anatoa anaweka. Butita the same. Kukikuwa na kitu imehappen CNN. When he visited CNN, he took a video. He did not post. He has it. Now CNN is doing something. It comes in. So it's about timing. It's about creativity. And that's why tunaambia watu watengeneze kitu ina relate na watu. And look also at the quality. Usipostie tu watu kapicha tu hivi no. Kaa vizuri, piga picha smart, piga luku, tesa, piga picha, weka caption yenye.
Wapi do ya kununua nguo za luku? Mbona unaongea ni kama unaongelesha wale watu wako huko? Unaongelesha wale watu.
Unatafuta pole ama hata ile iko.
Wapi shati iliendanga wapi?
Shati nilichoma moja.
Alafu luku ikaivana sasa siku hizi ya uhitaji.
Shati bado iko area, wase waliniletea zingine. I have 7 of the same piece.
Oh yeah?
So piga luku alafu caption should be important because hiyo ndo ina interact na wase wako. Usiseme tu chilling at home. Chilling at home mtu akisoma atalike aende. But ukisema today I'm chilling at home na kula ugali na kuku, wewe unakula nini? It's more likely you'll attract
people. You're getting them to interact.
Just be interactive with the audience and understand them na pia timing. Unaona? Kuna vitu wezi post asubuhi, hata kwa advertising maybe umepatiwa TI ama betting, mtu ana advertise 6 am. Which game is playing? Right. No game. Nani ameamka bado? So it's about also timing. That's why utaona accounts zako zinafanya nini? Zina move. Na pia unaangalia wase wanafanya nini inasonga vile amesema, then do that but in your own way. Wow. Of course respectful to your values and yeah, all that.
That's interesting. Gathoni.
Yes.
I have tried acting someday. Perhaps some of the things that actually got me feeling like, hakuna haja, ni ile kitu inaitwa audition. Na sometimes you're not even bad. Honestly, hata wewe unaweza jigauge. Unaingia audition, unaangalia ule mwingine, unajua hii ni yangu. Ukirudi kustuka kipindi hata already iko na ule mwingine mwenye alikuwa down kidogo
amechukuliwa kwenye sinema.
I know we're dealing with, you know, new challenges, different challenges, not that we are in the social media space, but you want to be part of a cast of, you know, a nice upcoming show on Showmax or perhaps DStv, on TV47 and all that. Just how different are the challenges today compared to then? And how are there those ones that actually are still there, you know, that would have been aped away if things were done better, but they're still rampant with us?
Well, I'll say times have really changed, actually. Times have really changed and changed for the better. And while they're not growing as fast as we'd wish for them, the truth is that, well, we have this notion that social media is so big. Traditional media still is the biggest thing that we have. Because when you think about it, the internet hasn't penetrated our country fully, right? Electricity as well. Connectivity. You can count how many smartphones are in rural areas.
Right.
So we're still so far away from saying that we're so big on the internet. We still belong to traditional media. And if we belong to traditional media, it means that we're doing TV shows about our cultures, drama series, movies, and what have you. What I like that has changed so much about the industry right now, and especially for actors, you can easily access auditions online.
Okay.
There's so many people who will post their auditions online. There's so many forums online for artists, for actors, for musicians. Like, it doesn't just end go to the Kenya National Theatre, you'll find auditions.
Yeah.
That's what used to happen initially. But now there's so many places because there's so many other forms of media that exist that are constantly looking for artists, for actors. So it shouldn't be so difficult to find those spaces now.
Right.
Yes, and well, I understand the frustration and the anxiety of acting. Just like any other thing, if you do not practice your skills as an artist, as an actor, then it disappears. Not necessarily disappears, but it becomes weaker. It's just like writing. If you don't write every day, then you're not going to be one of the best writers. So you have to keep practicing. You have to speak to yourself in front of the mirror. You have to sing in the shower.
You do all
a lot of those things that have to that are just kidogo kidogo hadi unajaza kibaba.
Right.
Yes. So I think we're in a good place, and we're going to an even better place.
Beautiful. You say that, and I am thinking, just how important is it for someone to impress themselves first before releasing that thing to the market, before releasing that song? Ati sasa ujiambie hivi kwa mira, ujiconvince, ujiambie yenyewe, you're doing a good thing before you release it out to the people.
You should see me
practicing,
working out in the gym.
Yes.
You know the way, I'm a gym instructor also. So most of the time I have a small gym in my compound.
Okay.
Nikijitengenezea tu. Sometimes I imagine sasa ni kwenye stadium ndio huyo Ruto. I can even see it. And if you see me performing before the imaginary Ruto,
wow.
Hey, I move hivi narudi. I imagine hapo sijafanya poa.
Is it?
Even before I shoot my videos,
right,
I have to get the lyrics because kujiuma mdomo. So mali nimefanya facial expression. You practice, just the way she say, you have to internalize whatever you want to bring it out. And then, hii time yenye auko famous, as Mlamo saying, the foundation, work on yourself, polish yourself, perfect whatever you want. Ile siku nachomoka.
Inaenda kabisa.
Inaenda ikienda.
Watasema wewe alikuanga wapi kweli? Hey, we don't know you. Where have you been? I've been around.
Right.
Ni season tu ilikuwa ijafika. Rather than uende ati mimi wanionangi. Of course music is in me, whether I'm famous or not. I sing every day. I sing in church. I sing. I'm a music teacher.
Right.
I'm a dance choreographer. I'm a gym instructor. So I'm just up and down.
You're living your life.
I'm living my life. So I'm up. I'm sweating every day. So when now it comes to words, maybe I need to perform on stage now. Now I put my art together and put on one plate now. I'll serve you right, my friend.
Beautiful.
I'll give you a cocktail of what I have.
And I think, let me add, I think for every artist, I'm a big believer of creating for yourself first. Impress yourself first, so that we know the industry we're in. The first thing that Kenyans do when they see something new is hit on it. And there's something that does to an artist. So it's very, very important that when you're creating, love it first. Let it be for you more than it is for the rest of the world. If the rest of the world accepts it, it's fine. If they do not accept it, you still created for yourself and you loved it. And that's good enough and should always be good enough.
Oh, beautiful. This I want to ask the ladies, but I'll first ask Mlamwa. Is it, overrated that sometimes we keep saying that the space is pretty much difficult for the girl child more than it is for the boy child? That most of the times the ladies that will always turn out to be now celebrities or perhaps are doing much well will always be introduced into the game, mostly by men. Or maybe we are long past that space.
Yeah, I believe chances are presented to all of us equally. And inakuja tu bado kwa ethics. Wewe kama mdemu
I'm told your mic has to be fixed, and I'll be coming with this question. In your heart of hearts, do you suppose that the ladies that have been with you, or the ladies that you've ever dated, are with you because 100% hii ni mapenzi, ni legit, ama ni kwa sababu ni Mlamwa? Manake mimi, we just have to be honest for a moment. Yeah. Do you sometimes feel like, well, maybe if it wasn't me, it could have been a different affair? We come back to that. But just how difficult is it for the girl child compared to the boy child? Or like he says, the ground is today fair.
Well, the ground is fair. There are a lot of the journey for a woman is completely different from the journey of a man. The first thing you said was when we sat here is that a lot of women don't say yes to coming to this show because it's late at night.
Yeah.
So automatically there is a sense of feeling insecure and unsafe for me to be out moving around.
Yeah.
So imagine me deciding to become a DJ, for example. It means I have to be in the club at night around rowdy drunkards. It's either if I play well, there are people who necessarily feel like it's important for them to come and say thank you, and the thank you might also come with some type of touching, right? So there are all of these things that women would want to do with their chest. There are so many things that will constantly try to brush them off and tell them wait, or don't go that far. There's so many things that will hinder you. There's a lot of what's the word? Where like men will take advantage, and I'll give an example of when I was 19, and I remember auditioning to be on radio. And the guy who auditioned me later called me and said, if you come hang out with me later tonight, I'll get you that job. So it's those small things that I never ended up on radio, and it was simply because of that one bad experience that made me realize, what? If it means I have to give myself away to get the job, then I don't think the job is good enough for me.
Wow.
So it's not easy. We cannot just say it's a straight line for women like it is for men.
For men,
Yeah.
all right. Allow us to take a quick short break. This is happening till date. Perhaps that's the reason why we thought it would be necessary to have this conversation. Even after getting that job, you don't find it easy, because then there's some boss somewhere who's saying, you have to do this so that you proceed to the next level, or you have to do this so that, we figure out something good for you. Why does it have to be that? Remember, it's about power, it's about fame, money, as well as sex in this game of the art industry. Allow us to take a short break, and then we come back with more.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na Nisani kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus niko niwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee. Soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30 kuendelea.
Join us on a journey through the concrete jungles and rising skylines, where every beam, every nail tells a story of progress and vision.
In every aspect of life, you know, you have to look at several dynamics.
From groundbreaking,
Nowadays with the tech, you can check on different websites or you check online and you can see some inspiration. So at least that one would be a direction already. I'll know like what kind of style you're going for.
to finishing touches, witness the dedication of the hard-working teams who bring these ambitious dreams to reality. The Realtor, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m.
Well, on set, Gathoni Kimuyu, Edel Kweyu, as well as David Oyando, commonly known as Mlamwa. The conversation is just how it is for them that are looked at as celebrities, them that are actually dominating the arts industries, to sail through into these spaces. Some of them will look like, you know, they're living bougie lives, but is it always the case? Mlamwa, we come back to you. And there's a question someone asked. Let me just ask, because you see, this is not my show. This is show ya watu. See, ati question haya. So kindly ask Mlamwa if he's still practicing nursing, though mimi hawezi nidunga shindano kwa sababu naweza rusha kama darts.
Utadedi, ukikata shindano na dedi. Tukifika huko, kuna ethics za huko za hospitali.
Oh, you still are practicing?
No, not at the moment. I'm saying that when you are in that space, there is the way you carry yourself while doing procedures, while attending to patients. Si kama ule Mlamwa wa Instagram ama TikTok, hapana. Ule ni mlash mwingine, but vile nilimaliza internship sikurudi tena. Niliingia tu kwa usanii hivyo, nikajikuta kwa TV, sijarudi bado bedside, but you never know, in the near future maybe.
Just how lucrative is this usanii thing? Because it looks like people are very comfortable living their kawaida lives. You know, people are very comfortable. You know, ni kama ile utaacha mama na baba. Like literally, and they do not look back.
Unajua usanii is a very difficult course to pursue. Like wote tumekaa hapa, kila mtu amefanya 15 miaka 10 na kitu. Unaona, hakuna course ya miaka 10 na kitu hii Kenya. That means when you graduate in that one, then you should be earning more than any other person who has gone to any other school.
That makes.
Yes. And I can tell you, usanii pays.
It does.
Unaweza fanya kazi ya 1 hour ulipwe pesa ya mtu ya mwaka mzima. You get it? Na huyo mtu si ati ni mtu tu anafanya kazi poa. Upewe tu do yake tu ndio hii. Kuja entertain president hapa, kuna 800 yako, chukua. And you take it in 2 hours. But you have worked for 11 years to get to that position. So it's very lucrative. There are some jobs that just find you in the house. You are seated and a client says, yo, niwekee hii post hapo hivyo, niko na 80. Naambia sawa, wewe weka hiyo kwa simu. So hii 80 kuna mtu pale nje ataichapia kazi mbaya sana.
Miezi 2 3 4.
It's very lucrative and ni business hauzi chochote. Even your time, you are not even spending much of your time doing it. Like literally you are earning, let's say, for free. Because there is no commodity. Hakuna marago ulipanda ukavuna unauza tu maneno.
It gives you power, freedom, and you know that financial.
Yes. Yeah, so it's lucrative. Utapata wase wengi wameacha job zao, businesses wame focus na art. Ama kama wako na hizo business na wanafanya job zao, art is the main thing. Yeah, but it takes time to get to such levels. Yeah.
Pia tukubali sio ya kila mtu. Hata kama tunasema social media ati sasa the space is open for everybody.
Ni ya kila mtu kwa sababu saizi imagine there is unapata mpaka kuna kampuni zimekosa wase because wote wameisha. So if you are out there and you work hard, utapata hizi kampuni. Sisi upigiwa mpaka na wase wenye wamebuka, wamekwambia ukimalizana na huyo niambie kuje hapa, because there is no other person to do that. So if you can work hard, plan yourself well, then opportunities bado ni mingi. The cake is still too big. Yeah.
Wewe unafanya hii story na mama. We're just talking about, you know, how difficult it might be for a girl child.
Yeah.
Does she sit you down sometimes kukuambia story, maybe zile siku before hata tukutane, hiyo hustle haikuwa rahisi hivyo kufika hapa and all that, thanks come through, umeni boost, ama wewe pia umwambie thanks come through, boost numbers na vitu kama hizo?
So kubustiana ni kitu cha maana. I usually say that if you are in a position to uplift someone, then you should do that, because unaweza kuwa una date partner wako, kuna kitu anafanya hapa and you're like ukiingia hapa unaweza make yourself better. Of course not coercion, you talk through it. Una get? So unamwambia, is it something first of all you would like to do? Akisema yes, naambia let's try. Tunafanya tu vitu zetu, sisi tunajwatch kwa TV, not posting, not doing anything. Then once you are cool, you say now, is it okay that you try it elsewhere? And then unapata ameifanya vizuri, amepata endorsement zake apart from zako, kuna zake, kuna zako, then kuna zenu wote as a family, because some things you do them as family. Na unapata anajichange yeye mwenyewe, anachange familia yako na anachange pia familia yake. So if you are in a position to help someone, in this case your partner, to be something, then I believe you can use the power to do that. Because if you can market for a company and it believes you, then it means you can also market your own stuff.
But tunakubaliana ya kwamba the ground is probably much more you know, kind to the guy than it is.
No. I'll actually differ, because I find it for the ladies it's quite easy than for the guys. As long as you plan yourself well, then you maintain your ethics well, the way you carry yourself, because ni rahisi sana watu wakuchukulia hivi, but if you stand firm like the strong ladies out there like you guys here, then mtu akikuangalia hivi anakuwa na respect yako na anakuwa code the same amount of respect atapatia a male artist.
Ushastroliwa online vizuri tu.
Sasa sisi ndo wenyewe.
Hadi atroliwa shati.
Ametroliwa proper.
Tulikuwa tuna trend juu ya BBI, like BBI is going on and Mlamwa is trending number 1. So we have had a better share of the same, and you should know how to convert that into something positive. Tulikuwa tuna trend, tunabadilishana na Aziada hapa, mimi hapa kesho.
Don't you think Aziada ilikuwa more radical than yako? Yeye imekuwa radical bwana. Hata kama
compare the bullying between wewe na
Aziada, unasoma zako, unasoma zako, alafu unasoma za Aziada.
Sisi tumekapitia sana. Even before Aziada even came to the picture, we started long time ago, and ni kitu yenye ni right of passage for any artist. For you to make it big, lazima utapita kwa hizi mikono za Twitter, utapita kwa hizi mikono za Facebook, watakupanguza vizuri. Na ukitingika, utashtukia umefanya nini? Umebaki nyuma. Because I'm like, mbona ulie ati umetroliwa? And this person when
Hujawahi lia
paka tu.
Let us agree that kuna stages.
Lazima. Mimi mpaka nilichoma shati kabisa, nikasema ni kama hii kitu naniletea shida yote, then let it. But ikafika mahali God akakam through, so hiyo machozi unapanguza na noti. Una get? So you're like, mtu amekutusi kwa post yenye umelipa 200k, you're like, huyu mtu angejua tu kitu nimepewa dongapi, angenyamaza. Hata angekuwa ananiuliza how can I be like you. So you have to grow the thick skin. You have to know how to turn that hate into something positive. Wewe chukua hiyo energy, i convert back, iingize ndani yako, then give it out as something positive, because there are children who look up to you. Kuna watu wanataka kukua kama wewe. So ukigive in, unaangusha hiyo rende yote manze, because of one simple comment or two.
Beautiful. Gathoni, is there a time you've been somewhere, you know, in your lowest perhaps of moments, and that was related to what it is that you do in the arts industry? Ama wewe umekuwa safe tu, umechezanga safe hivi?
Siwezi sema nimecheza safe. I think mimi nilingia tu na kifua. I truly knew exactly what I wanted. And I remember when I just discovered Twitter, and I started influencing on Twitter. And I knew I wanted to take a break from screen to just discover the internet properly and the workings of the internet and social media. And I remember some of the conversations I used to have on Twitter was so radical, and people would get so angry. But I didn't care. I knew exactly what I was doing. So even when I got my first influencing job on Twitter, I didn't realize what I had done or what I had created. It felt good that there were all of these people who were conversing with me, who were asking me questions, who were trolling me as well. Like there was an array of so many people. And what I am as an artist is, I believe, if there's just one person it converts, that's enough.
That's enough.
Yeah.
All right. The number grows by the day.
Yeah.
So Idel, here we are, and you are juggling lots of stuff, that you are this, you're that, and everything. Just maneuvering this, just managing this, because we might actually think at how radical the industry is, but maybe we have not considered what plays out at home, what plays out within you, in terms of making sure that in all this, there's that you've created that balance, that keeps you somehow at a safe space.
Okay. From what I do, there's no place
they clash.
Yeah,
okay.
They don't clash. Like in the morning, I'm normally at the gym by some minutes to 5. We start from 4:45. You get already guys that are at the gym, working out, doing what. Maybe by 9 I'm done. And then now my teaching starts in the afternoon. So morning hours for the workout.
Right.
Then now my teaching, my music lessons, now I become a teacher. In the morning I'm a gym instructor. In the afternoon now I become teacher Idel now. Now when you come to the gospel, now singing, so now I'll do it maybe kwa kesha on Friday, then in church on Sunday, just making sure that praise team, maybe the praise and worship part of it. And lucky enough, our church has 4 praise teams. So we sing once per month. So you get, I can balance.
You can balance.
Yeah.
This is my own experience, and like I said, I began by saying that sometimes you want to consider yourself as part of the arts industry, being in the space of media. This is just a random thing in the office, and you're seated close to Samintana, alafu unakula githeri yako hapo, and then she asks you, "Ai, unakula githeri na vile si uaga tumekurank." It sounds like a joke, but really, there's that kind of thing that society, the expectation in society. Karibu nitupe hiyo githeri, by the way. It was like, wow, tunakuaga tumekurank, alafu unakula githeri huko nje, Umebeba kagitheri kako tu kutoka home. Easy, you're living life, you're who you are. But then again, there's what that society expects of you. Do you think we've overcome this pressure of societal expectations? Or maybe we're still at that space where then we have to, I have to appear as though I am driving because me ni ule nimeimba na Rose Muhando. I mean Rose Muhando of all the people. And she's probably going to tell you that people could not believe that she'd go to low levels where she has been before. Maybe she had shared her story to you before you probably got into this space of working together.
Now, personally, I'm this lady. I grew up as a tomboy. I'm mimi ni mimi. I'm me. I can't fake who I am.
Right.
Because faking is very expensive. Just living your life is cheap. So I can't fake. Maybe if I want to go somewhere, then I have to I have a driving license, yes. But why should I? You have a driving license, then you go borrowing cars, mafuta ndio hiyo imekuishia kwa barabara. Unaona sasa, unarudi nyumbani na stress, na landlord amekungojea. And nowadays with this social media thing and phones, videos everywhere, kaklip katatoka tu.
Utatembea.
Sasa, just be you.
Right.
Me most my neighbors were shocked that me uimba. Some of them didn't know. Mi natoka tu na chukua kasukuma kangu hapo, mturai, eat narudi kwa nyumba. Because at the end of the day, it's me. These people, so hii pressure ya nje, mazi inaweza kuua.
But there's quite a thin line, and maybe this goes to you, Mlamwa. There's quite a thin line,
yes,
as to just being you and not faking life, and equally protecting the brand.
Yes,
there's two things.
There is a thin line because nakumbuka nikishoot video zangu na Muramwa hivyo nini, nilikuwa nikitembea tao napata mtu kwa jama nasimamisha anakupatia 50 bob, like aoni like wewe huyu msee. Anaona tu wewe unateseka cha huku hivi.
It's all over,
Unaona? Ajui kuna tofauti kati ya Mulamwa Kendrick na David. Unaona? So sometime unashtua tu wasee, wewe piga tu suti yako polite, tulia, tembea maeneo hatari, style deadly, unaelewa? Ndio mtu asikuone tu hivi. Panda gari, tesa once in a while, but not of course out of your jurisdiction. So you have to balance the thing. And when you are going also to sign for the deals, usiende tu hivyo atifua umekuja na nani, nimekuja peke yangu kuona nani ati boss, hapana. Enda hapo, chukua Mercedes 20,000, lipa, tafuta manager, secretary mrembo, fika pale. Hamtaongelea chini ya milioni 4.
Kweli
because hivi kimalamala utapewa hata 20k. Unaona? So kujibeba ni kitu ya maana, but inafaa unachorea watu, huyu ni actor, content creator, anateseka, lakini huyu ni mulamaa mwenye anajenga mansion, different person. Una get? And vile tunajibeba, lazima uchoreo line bure.
Sasa mtu aliniuliza kitu ya kwanza hata kabla nianze. Sasa akatoka kwa 6,000 akaenda kwa 70,000. Ibu atueleze hiyo story.
70 ni mingi.
70 ni mingi, si?
Not really. Ukijipanga.
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 Let's talk about that. You know, balancing creativity with financial stability. It can be tough. And you know, money imekuja tu imekushtua kidogo. Unaamua kule ukijua kesho itakuja, and then tomorrow is a whole different thing. Perhaps you get that 200,000 that is supposed to sustain you for another 2, 3, 4 months before you get another gig.
Yeah, so well, unfortunately, and that really is the truth, that well, we can say that all of the internet is this big and creators are having it good. Not every creator is having it good, because say for example, you get influencing work. Sometimes you'll get influencing work and it's paid after 3 months. If you don't have like 2 or 3 brands or 4 brands that you're pushing at the same time, then it means you have to wait for one check for a very long time, which means then the check finds you in debt, which means then you never get to enjoy the money. So I think, well, it's a lucrative business, doing things online, getting paid by TikTok or getting paid by whatever platform, or getting paid by corporate companies who want you to sell their products. It's also very important to plan and also not to be buried into the pressure, because at the end of the day, ukienda nyumbani, when a githeri yako, that's who you are. That's who you truly are. So if people are going to troll you because of your githeri, shauri yao. And it's important as a creator and as a person of interest and as a person who people look up to, the very most important thing to be is to stay authentic. Let them love you for who you truly are, so that you never have to change yourself. And even for new creators who are coming onto the game will ask me, what can I do so that people can watch me? What do I need to add to my content? I'm like, just be truly you, because you can create where you are. You don't ever have to change. And TikTok is a very good example of creating where you are. When you look at something we call kienyeji TikTok, they don't try to look for aesthetics, and their videos move. They move so much. It's just someone running after their chicken and they wanachinja wanakula. It's truly authentic, and an audience for that exists. So you don't ever have to start living a life that's not you, just to be able to get hits or to get followers.
But in acting, you can live somebody else.
Yes, but
you're allowed to.
The script, then, yes,
you can easily leave.
But I think also, as Mlamwa said, it depends with where you are. It depends with where you are. Unajua kuna jina imekujia kubwa, kama bado hauna hizo do, mazi itabidi tu hustle ufikie level ya jina yako.
That's true.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Itabidi ina depend uko wapi. Sasa Mlamwa, we can't believe hananga do. We don't, hizo pesa nanga ndani ya githeri.
I cannot believe.
We don't know.
I can't. How?
We don't know if he goes to the bank anachukua neka kwa githeri anafanya then he returns them. Since we believe this guy has money.
Right.
So we want, maybe if the company calls him, mazi hata kama ana atafuliza,
you know,
akae kama yeye.
So unaona mtu akikuona na 2 million.
Yes.
Hata kama ni fake, inafaa kurespect, because ukitumwa saizi utafute best yako mwenye akona 2 million utapata. So ukiona mtu akona rafiki wa 2 million, achana na huyo mtu. That person knows what 2 mic is. So hizo videos zenye mnasema mnaona Mlamwa na do kwa githeri, of course zote zinakuangaza kusend message whereby you are this humble but you are this. And the same time it shows you have this but you still live like this. Una get? So ina depend na mwenye anaiwatch vile anaipick. Unaona? So inafaa unasafa kidogo, unaumia, but you save your cash and lay your foundations. Sasa hizo ukiuliza mtu unaenda shule kufanya nini? Naenda kusoma. Ufanye nini? Nipate kazi, nipate do. Ukishapata do utafanya nini? Buy shamba. Okay, Mlamwa amebuy. Nijenge. Mlamwa ameshajenga. Nifungue biashara. Mlamwa ashafungua. So si pesa yake anaweza sasa ishi nyumba ya 70. He doesn't need to save, but he had to suffer to be there.
That's true. There's some element of suffering.
But now when you come to us, the gospel singers, ni kuomba tu God that jina iende na mfuko. Manze, wimbo inaweza enda. Wimbo imeenda, wimbo yako imeenda, lakini wewe mwenyewe nobody has called you for any show. Nobody has even given you any job ya kwenda kupiga uko nje. You cannot go to people, leteni sadaka. Already song imepick. So ni kuomba tu God, if ever ienda i-balance maze God.
Ita balance.
Song ikihit, hata mimi mfuko hit.
Inafaa mimi nikuja kugundua in art you have to widen your wings. Ukisema tu ni comedian, comedians ni wengi, hautakulia hapo. Me I have songs. Yeah, I have songs. Niko kwa movies, nimeact, niko hadi Netflix. Nimefanya vitu mob, like si comedy peke yake. Na comedy yenyewe pia unaiwiden. Ulikuwa una act kama Mulamwa, sasa hizi umeongeza family. Now, before you could not advertise Pampers, let's say, but now you can. Before you could not advertise baby products, but now you can.
And sometimes you have to reach out to these people, tell them now I have a family.
You don't reach out. When reaching out, you become weak. Like in the negotiation table, what you do targeted content. For example, naweza sema manze mtoto wangu analia bana, sina hata mahali pa kumweka nini. Kidogo utapata waseka 20 wamekama, we have baby rockers tutawapatia, we have like you do targeted content. Now, history yote na happen behind the scenes. Audience does not know. Now you come with the product. You see Mulamwa posting an unfinished house. Huyu ameshakuja, mimi nitakupatia glass, mimi niko na rangi, mimi niko na nini. You have not called them, but your content called them. Yes.
Beautiful.
That's how you do content. You don't just shoot for shooting. You do something that is targeted.
Yes. Well, that's nice. So here we are. This is a very uncomfortable subject. I think I was just trying to tell my producer, andika hapo power. And power sasa inaingiliana wapi na usanii. Na namwambia andika hapo money, andika hapo fame, na uandike hapo sex. We might not want to talk about it, but there's a lot of entanglement and intersection, of the sex and the arts. And this might appear pretty much complex. While we agree that intimacy, and of course in all these relationships, will come in to inspire maybe some element of creativity, we equally understand that there can also be an element of exploitation when it comes to that. Have you experienced any of this, or have you had friends saying that they've experienced any of this? And how do we just create a balance to face ourselves off from that space? And I'm sorry, almost all the questions that I
I'll set myself up.
Amekaa mbele ya darasa.
Hiyo ndio shida.
Well, it's a very tricky conversation, but the long and short of it is, if the sex is consented, sawa. Like, that's the first part. But then there's also because there's already this outlook of the world of how artists behave around sex, around money, and around drugs. Not to excuse it, but one of the things that is true is artists give themselves. They're constantly giving themselves. So the small pockets of things they go back to that make them happy. And for some people it's sex, for some people it's gambling, for others it's fashion, it's drinking, it's whatever. And I think, well, I've seen it happen in different industries, in TV, in theater, on social media. I think in the long run, it's dependent on how you carry yourself as a person, as a guy, as a woman. If you decide, there are women on the internet whose only content is showing their behind, right? And that's what sells for them. So it's a very thin line, and you get to make the decision of if you become a sex object, or if sex is what drives you, or that's what makes you happy. And then there's the other side of deciding that, well, even sex is what makes me happy, but you guys will never know about it. So I think it's a very thin line between how we show it or how we carry ourselves as artists. But I don't think it's right for the world to judge artists for doing it.
And judging, they have been judged. And sometimes you see this online and it disturbs you. Just what is the essence and the importance of making sure that then you have professional boundaries and professional relationships anytime that you're dealing with people? Because sometimes when you're just trying to be you, Roho Safi, a woman of God, and you want to talk to your producer in a very nice way. but they are reading different signs. They want now to take it to the next level. I have personally experienced a scenario where after you're just going to buy dresses in this very nice shop, you keep it up, they have nice dresses. So you go in there, you're always like buying dresses and you're pretty much easy. You and ule Linda unakuanga kwa TV, but no, forget about that. We're friends, we're easy. But then these people are looking at it and they're taking it to levels that are a bit uncomfortable. So what is the essence and the importance of setting boundaries?
Okay. Personally, I've never experienced that. I don't know if hii kisauti.
Ama wewe unaweka boundaries mapema na mapema.
Hii sauti yangu tu mtu anasikia naona huyu atakugonga. I don't know, I've never experienced that. But mostly, Linda, most of the people, okay, gospel industry has money. Gospel industry has money. But it has money to people who know where the money is. Unaona?
Right.
Ule mtu alianza kuuza skiza tune kitambo, those people are eating good. Now, if you know where the skiza tune inafanyiwa, okay, now for example, unasikia, mbona fulani, most of the people, gospel singers that are rich, are not famous. Hata wangangani na show. Wangangani na show. Yetu amepewa skiza, unasikia, skiza napata ngapi? So 6. Song gani? Amefanya. And sasa unapata, unasikia, alienda akafanya na nani, alafu huyo ndio mwenye anakuanga huko, alafu anamfanyanga huko. So okay, hearsay, but personally I've never, okay, maybe someone can come and tell me, but unajua pastor so and so did this and this, what did you do? Ndio kama attract. Because most of these people, by the way, I've seen ladies who just push themselves to men, the way their body language suggests that you want something.
Right.
And men are men.
That will always swing into action.
A man can sleep with any woman. A woman,
a man is here to confirm that.
A lady will sleep with someone she loves. Someone she loves. But a man can sleep with any woman.
Right.
So wewe ukienda hapo usho, every day uko hapo. Kuna tu wale wana push that thing to that limit. But there are those who go there for benefits. As I told you.
Well,
there are people who unaweza kuwa na nini mahali, function mahali, whoever has been put to the program, surely if you compare with the mulamwa, unashanga aje. Kuna kakadi kalichezwa hapo. Unajua you allow them to do that.
Usijali ongelelea tu. The good thing is that you're a comedian. So hata ukisema kitu real, we can always turn it and say comedy. And you get away with it. What do you make of it with Samisa?
Kama awards, unasema at best comedian, unasema na fulani yako wapi na anatuchekeshanga hata ukiangalia. He's the best. But sasa nani amechukuliwa?
Mwingine tu.
Kuliendaje? Unasema either pesa ilitembea ama kitu kingine.
Like 10%. The days for Groove Awards in the gospel industry. Unasikati song of the
hesabu hata nomination peke yake.
Hata nomination peke yake inakataa. Una get?
So close it for us.
Where there's money,
there's always.
So hiyo story si kwa madem peke yake ati mkienda mahali kuna mtu anawafisi, hata maboi pia. Kuna wamama huku nje, kuna madem. Unaangalia dem yako mpaka unashangaa kwani joto.
Kuna machali.
Mpaka unaona dem watu kuona nguo kwani joto iko kiasi gani manze. So ni
amevaa brief.
Manze hakuna kitu. Yaani like wewe bana unachoma.
Topa kacha sky.
It happens also to the gents. We as we traverse the industry, you meet women in higher status when you wanna call the shots and they want this and that, unaona. So ina depend tu na morals zako na wewe unataka nini. If you are too easy, you will bend into the pressure na itakudrain sana, hata utakuwa hapo kwa ati.
Eventually hata si
and plus the recording,
the end game,
my friend.
Unaona, so mtu atakudrain tu emotionally. Hiyo story labda hujaambia mtu, unaanza tu kuona kazi yako tu inaenda hivi hivi. Mungu naye hapendi story kaa hizo, so vitu zinaanza tu kukuendea mulama tu style fulani. So I think ni kitu yenye because hakuna mahali serikali itaingilia ati iseme it's about you. Wewe na huyo mtu, wewe unataka nini maisha yako.
Na mbona uliingia hapo?
Beautiful. You know, I'd have given us a minute or maybe 30 seconds to give us our parting shots. But because we have an artist here, how about we listen to her music? You know, it's only fair that kama ametuibia latest.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali